Hey you! So how are you doing today? Can you believe that it's already Ask Maya 18? So welcome to Ask Maya 18, and today I'm going to be talking about something really interesting because a lot of questions that I get from injured people like you are about flexibility and soreness, and today I'm going to be answering this question. And even though I get quite a lot of questions about fractured ankle, injured ankle, what I'm going to be sharing with you today, it doesn't matter what kind of injury you had, because you can apply this advice to any kind of injury and it's going to help you. So like I said, a lot of questions that I'm getting are about injured ankles. And that's probably because that's my story. I fractured my right Achilles bone 5 years ago. At the end of this month, I'm gonna have the anniversary, so that's coming. But you know what I'm gonna share with you, it doesn't apply just to the ankles. So today I'm gonna be talking about the flexibility and stiffness from 3 different perspectives. And a lot of the times people think about this just from one perspective, and that's through exercises. And probably that's because, you know, it's the most tangible thing. You are doing something with your body, so you can see that you are doing something with your injured part of the body. But that's not the only way how to improve the flexibility and remove the stiffness. What you also have to know is that it depends where you're at in your recovery journey. So if the injury happened not a long time ago, don't stress about it, because the flexibility is gonna improve. But at the beginning, you know, especially if you were in a cast, everything is super stiff. It's really stiff. So be patient with that, and with all the exercises, you have to be consistent and persistent. So one of the exercises that you are doing on your own and with the professionals, such as your physiotherapist. Of course, you know, physiotherapy is important. Physiotherapists are important part of your recovery team, but also know that you will do the majority of work on your own at home. So don't expect miracles just if you're going to the physiotherapy and doing the exercises just there. You have to do the work, the majority of work you're going to be doing on your own at home. If you injured your ankle, if you fractured your ankle, then you can also get access to my mini course, 7 essential ankle exercises. So check that out. I'm gonna leave the link somewhere here. And yeah, that's about the exercises. So the most important thing is to be consistent and persistent with everything that you do. And another thing is that if you also injured your ankle, then I'm gonna also leave the link below from the support group Injury Recovery BFFs that I did video about the flexibility of the ankle. So check that out as well. So that was one aspect. The second aspect is through nutrition. So with the nutrition, you're actually doing a lot regarding inflammation, because less inflammation means better healing and also faster healing. The inflammation, what you have to know is that inflammation is not always a bad thing. We need inflammation because when you injure yourself, your body, everything, so the injured part gets all hot and red and inflamed, and you know, this is how your body fights the infection, and this is also how the body heals itself. So yeah, inflammation is necessary part of every recovery, or anytime you hurt yourself, inflammation is necessary. But the thing is that with inflammation is that people a lot of the times put fuel to the fire, because they consume foods and doing everything else with their bodies that cause more inflammation. So yes, some inflammation is good, too much inflammation not so good. So with nutrition and proper hydration, you can do a lot about this, and also you can fight if you could say that, fight the swelling and the inflammation. So with inflammation is that what you can do is that there are three options for you how to approach this. So one is that, and what I also have to say is that why I'm talking so much about inflammation is that when there is less inflammation means that your injured part of the body can get more flexible as well. If everything is swollen and red and hot and in flames, you cannot expect to be really graceful and, you know, just moving easily. So you cannot expect that. So that's the reason why I'm talking about inflammation so much. So you can do three things regarding this. One thing is that you can add anti-inflammatory foods. That's the first thing that people think about. So they will add something, and you know, probably, I don't know, maybe because all the media and everything, okay, just take that pill and you'll be completely okay. So one is that you can add anti-inflammatory foods, and this includes some herbs and spices such as turmeric and cinnamon or ginger, and of course all the other anti-inflammatory foods. These are plants, and especially foods also high in vitamin C, that are great anti-inflammatory foods. The second thing that you can do is that you can take out inflammatory foods, and then the third thing that you can do is that you combine both of these. So you add some anti-inflammatory foods, specific anti-inflammatory foods, but also you take out inflammatory foods. So when we're talking about inflammatory foods, so one is processed foods. I know, well, I see people that are, you know, because injury is such a tough thing, they're looking for some comfort in food. So they're also eating some processed foods or fried foods, and these are not really good. These are inflammatory foods, so no good. So we have processed foods, then we have fried foods, artificial sweeteners, artificial additives. Then we have soda and other drinks that are not good as well. And then of course we have foods that are high in arachidonic acid. And with arachidonic acid is that arachidonic acid is a part of this inflammatory cascade. So your body produces arachidonic acid. Without that, there wouldn't be inflammation. And like I said, inflammation is a good thing, but too much inflammation is not a good thing. So arachidonic acid, our bodies produce arachidonic acids, all that we need. But the thing is, if you add foods that are high in arachidonic acid, you're actually adding fuel to the fire. So your inflammation goes up, or this way. I don't know how you see me. So yeah, that's how you that's what is a good thing to take out of your diet. And maybe you're not gonna really like what I'm gonna say right now, but foods that are high in arachidonic acid are animal-based foods, and majority of people eat animal-based foods. So you know, they're eating meat and dairy and eggs and everything else. So the thing is that if you're eating a lot of this, then yes, your inflammation can be too big, too high, you know what I mean. So that's regarding diet. And of course, what you also have to know is that you can affect the inflammation and also the flexibility and swelling and everything through proper hydration and sleep, rest. It's really, really important to rest, to take the time off. Another thing that maybe you will find interesting is that not long time ago, I think it was April this year, a study was published about the connection between animal fats and osteoarthritis. So if you're afraid to get osteoarthritis because of your injury. Think about that, because what researchers saw is that there is a connection between osteoarthritis and animal fats, and actually high fat diets made things worse. So that's regarding nutrition. And then we have the third part, the third aspect, and that's mind-body connection. So mind-body connection, I could say that this is probably my favorite aspect of injury recovery. And the reason for this is that you have to know that your body follows your mind. So whatever is happening in your mind, in your conscious and subconscious mind, has a direct effect on your body. And I have to say that mostly people don't think about this as much, and probably because that's the least tangible thing, because you cannot measure the progress as you can measure the progress with the exercises. So people are going from the most tangible things to the least tangible things, but that doesn't mean that the least tangible thing doesn't have a big impact on your recovery. And here we are talking about stiffness and flexibility. So a few examples. So if you are, let's say, dealing with fear and other negative emotions, this can have an effect on your recovery and on your flexibility. So what you have to know is that being afraid, dealing with fear and other emotions during recovery is completely normal. Don't think that you have to be a robot that, you know, you're like, oh, I'm happy all the time. No, I'm not talking about this. But what I'm talking about is that if you are not dealing with this, so let's say that you are just sort of swimming in this negativity, then yes, this can affect your recovery. And when we are afraid, our muscles and tendons and everything are a bit more, are contracted and more stiff, so we cannot relax as much. So that's the reason why it is so important to deal with emotions, with negative emotions. And you can approach this through different kind of things. So one thing is that you can approach this through meditation and visualization. You can approach this through different mental exercises. I'm a huge fan of journaling, so that you are going through the process and just discovering what is going on in your mind and why you feel like you feel and what is behind this. Because a lot of the times things starts back, you know, sometimes even in childhood. And right now, when you are 20, 30, 50, 60, I don't know how old you are, some things are just coming out. So the storage was out, but now I'm back. So I was talking about what is happening in your mind, in your conscious and subconscious mind. And yeah, whatever happened in the past, this might be just coming out. And you know, the other thing is that your injury might trigger something from the past. So something happened in the past, and right now your injury triggered that. So this experience still has an emotional charge, but you weren't aware of it until this moment. And what is happening is that if you are not dealing with this, with different kind of approaches, like I was telling you before, this can affect your body, because you are being under the stress, and stress affects your healing, your recovery, and also then can affect your flexibility and your stiffness, actually, that your body is more stiff. And the other thing is that also what your beliefs are. So beliefs that you are carrying, if beliefs about your body, beliefs about your health, beliefs about your capability of getting over these challenges, because injury is a setback, and you know, you can approach this as you wish. So you can approach this just as this was an accident, and I'm just gonna wait to to heal myself, and then I'm gonna move forward and never look back. Or you can approach this as injury being just a symptom of something, because I do believe that accidents happen for a reason. For me, my experience is that, my story is that my injury was the only option for me to really stop and think about my life and stop and think about my decisions and where I'm gonna go from there on, and also to deal with my past. So, injuries can be a great time to deal with some emotional things. And that's the reason why this is, for me, this is my favorite aspect of injury recovery, because you can really take your injury as the time to work on yourself, to grow, to deal with some things and move on. So you can approach your injury however you would like. You can approach it as it was just an accident, or you can approach it, okay, that's a symptom, something I have to deal with something. And I was talking about beliefs that you carry, and beliefs about, like I said, your body, about your health, but also what you heard from your doctors or physiotherapists or nurses or your friends and family, and you took that as your truth. So if you heard something horrible about your potential outcome and you took that as your truth, you can do whatever. But if you don't deal with that belief, if you don't reprogram your mind, this is holding you back. So that's the reason why mind-body connection and this aspect of recovery is my favorite one, and that's the reason why I work so much on it with my clients, with different kind of mental exercises, with a lot of inner work. So that's about flexibility, about how to approach stiffness. So you have three different aspects. One is through exercise, the other is through nutrition and also hydration, and then the third one is through mind-body connection. And to be honest, you have to combine all of them. It's not enough if you are just doing the exercises, and of course it's not enough if you are just thinking about things. You have to combine everything, and of course there is nutrition as well. You have to combine everything for the best result. Please check the link that I also provided, and if you have any question about your injury, about your recovery, post the question down below, or the other option is to send me an email. The easiest way is that you get access to audio training, Secrets to Best Recovery, or to the mini course, 7 Essential Exercises. I'm gonna send you the email, and then you can reply and ask away. So that was for today. If you think that this video would help anyone, please share it, and have a lovely, lovely week, and I'm gonna see you really soon. Bye bye.